Hi guys, I'm back with another tutorial. I will be showing you guys how to do a lace frontal wig. These are the things you will need. Everything will be in the description box. And this is my 6 by 13 frontal. I'll have it on my website very soon. So let's get started. So what I did was pin the cap down to my mannequin head. Now what you see me doing is measuring the frontal. So what you do is measure your hairline from ear to ear and you see how much is it. For me it's 11 inches. So I'm cutting off the extra 1.5 inch from each side. So I'm measuring it again, making sure everything's right, and then you place the frontal on the mannequin. Now what I did was fold it in half just so I know that I have the middle part and placed it in the middle of the mannequin head, if that makes sense. So I then pinned the edges of the frontal down in the back so it'll be easier for me to sew it down so it can stay in place. Also, what I'm doing is braiding the hair so it won't be in my way while I'm sewing the back of the frontal. I like to start sewing from the middle of the head and work my way down on each sides. I know some people, they'll start from either the left or the right and then they'll go all the way over to the other side, but I just like to start from the middle, that way that I know everything is flat and on point. And I just want to add, I know that there are a lot of lace frontal wig tutorials on YouTube, but I just wanted to show my version in the way that I do it because everyone has a different way of doing things, and some people might show something that the other person might not. So I thought this would be a good idea for me to show you guys my way of doing a lace frontal wig. And I hope it helps somebody. Okay, so now I'm gonna start sewing the wefts on. You guys know I don't typically show this part because I kind of feel like this is common sense to people who know how to sew, and I always say that, you know, it's other videos, but I decided to show you guys a little bit of it. So, you know, just typically sewing side to side. I just did a single stitch because I found that when you do a single stitch, it's, how can I say it? It allows the cap to stretch a bit more. Okay, so you see right here how I push the track up towards the front of the hairline. That way you won't have that separation between the frontal and the bundles. So I kind of angle the tracks like towards the frontal, and then I like start sewing the rest. It's kind of like at a curve. That way you don't have that space between the frontal and the wefts. It is so ugly. I did it before and I had to do it all over again. Okay, there you have it. Everything is nice and flat. I'm checking to make sure there's no lumps, bumps, humps. And so now you're going to see me begin to cut off the excess lace that's underneath the cap that we won't need. And now I will begin to sew an elastic band, or what you see me use instead is the elastic that comes from the dome caps. I use that instead. And I just sewed the elastic on each side of the frontal. That way when I put my frontal on, it fits nice and snug. Now I'm done sewing on the elastic band, so I'm gonna begin to sew these combs that came with the cap onto the edges of the wig cap. So what I like to do is bend the outsides of the combs because they're open and they get stuck to your hair when you're trying to take it off. So I like to bend those edges in so I won't have that problem in the end. And for those of you that's been following me and you watched my high ponytail video, you noticed that I was talking about how I sew combs on the front of my wigs and that the combs were actually taking out some of my edges. So in this wig, I didn't put any combs in the front. I just did them in the back. And that way I can prevent my edges from coming out. So I just do the combs in the back and then I do the elastic band, and that's enough to keep the wig on your head. Now the fun part, we're gonna straighten this wig. I use the Chi heat protectant and then the Chi silk infusion, and I just spray it all over and I rub the oil all over the hair and I begin to press this hair. So now I'm gonna begin to pluck around the edges. What I like to do is part, pluck, part, pluck, part, pluck. Don't go crazy because your frontal will be bald. So just pluck a little bit, comb the hair back, check it and make sure it looks natural. And if it doesn't, just go back in and pluck a little bit more. And you want to create like a gradient effect. Like you want it to go from light to, a little bit darker, a little bit darker, a little bit darker. Not just light and then straight dark. So, just pluck some, part again, pluck some more, and you should be good to go. Now I'm gonna start taking out the little hairs for the baby hair. I don't like over the top baby hairs, so I just take out a little bit, put a little mousse on it, form it, and that's it. If you like a lot of baby hairs, then pull out a little bit more, but to each his own. Okay, so these are the final results. You can braid it, part it, put it in a ponytail, push it back, anything you want. Thanks so much, guys, for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And follow my IG, Brittany the Stylist. Thanks, guys. See you later.